Hey everybody, welcome back. Guess what time it is? It's time to scalp. Before we get to that, I need to show y'all how I set up my Toro Flex to give the best possible scalp the right way, the real low way, and to get this yard kicking with the Bermuda growing, the ryegrass dying, and get ready for a fantastic summer. Last year I was rocking the High HOC kit, trying to get that ryegrass established. We all know how that turned out. Not very good up until recently, and I had to kill it. So we're putting these back on. Why? I'm currently at my lowest setting, which is just a couple thousandths of an inch below a ½ inch. So the first thing we need to do is loosen each one of these here. These just kind of lock the HOC arms in place. It's a 16 millimeter. And then starting on this side, which is the left side of the reel, you determine the side based on operator position. So I'd be this way. So this is the left side. Okay, we get that guy out. Then we take this out here, putting a rag under this just to protect the bed knife, because this is we are taking a main component off. Then before I remove this, I want to go ahead and take this guy out. This is a 10 millimeter, and this here locks the front roller in. Okay, so we're at the point now where this guy's ready. So we're gonna finish this guy off over here. Just loosen that one for now. We're gonna speed this up a bit and actually use a socket wrench. That's almost out. So now, supporting the cutting unit, I'm gonna take this out and then we'll gently set that down because we don't want to damage our bed knife or possibly nick the reel. Let's take a look now with the difference between the High HOC and your standard HOC. So lining them both up, we have, it's about a 3/4, maybe an inch difference, substantial difference in height. This one here lets you go down, I think it's like 11/64 or 7/64 to 19/64. And this one lets you go pretty much from 19/64 to 63/64. Yeah. Lots of fractions. We're going to take the plow bolt out as well. I'm going to clean all these up before reassembly. So now we're going to move on to this side here. We'll finish taking out this locking bolt. Then I'm going to raise this one up just enough to kind of loosen it. We got this supported. We'll set that guy down. Not worried about a towel on that end. Now we'll just take this guy out. So there we have it. The High HOC arms are off. Everything in the roller assembly is disassembled. I'm going to take this time now. I'm going to clean this up. I have some rocks and some dirt from my dirt stripes in this roller. I want to get it cleaned. Want to make sure. I'm going to check the bearings while I'm at it. They were pretty good. Yeah, they're still good in there, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to get it cleaned up before we put everything back on. Everything's cleaned up. We're ready to put this back together with the standard HOC arms. While I was waiting on the cleanup, I went ahead and checked the reel to bed knife. It looked pretty good. I'm not going to show it here because coming up, I will go in depth into everything about this with the reel, bed knives, the whole 9 yards. So you'll just have to stay tuned for that. So let's get back to work. Broke out the trusty anti-seize. So putting it back together, we're going to start on the right side. This stuff's recommended for pretty much everything, and it's gooey. Yeah, so first we're going to get these guys loaded up with a little bit of anti-seize and get them put in here. Okay, we have these started. So next up, we'll set this to the side. We want to take our HOC adjustment, dab a little bit of anti-seize on it, and we're going to go ahead and get it started in here. It's spinning smooth. Okay, so those are all prepped and ready to go. Next up, plow bolts. So we're starting on the right side, and you'll see how it's done once I get to the left side. So we have that one in there. It's just kind of hand tight. bam. We're gonna slide this guy in here a whole good way to give us some working room. Now the fun part. Okay. We put the plow bolt in through this way. Get the height of cut arm. Make sure this guy's facing forward. Then we just line it up in this little groove here. Have this washer. This lip here will go down. We will just finagle the height of cut. There we go. We'll leave these loose for the time being. Once everything's secured up here, we'll then go and align the roller. They're tightened for now. I'm not worried about what they're set at this point. We're gonna get the roller set up now. So the idea behind this is you want the roller positioned, you know, even with everything. So the grooved rollers make it easy because you can take a look at them. It looks pretty good right there. Now we just tighten these guys down and that locks the roller in place. Easy as that. So we're all set here. The only thing left is getting the height of cut right. We have the cutting unit flipped over, making it easy, easy, easy to do this job. That's an advantage of the Flex. I can just take this cutting unit off with 2 bolts, plop it up on the workbench, no laying in the floor. The trusty DIY height of cut bar. If you want to know how to build one, click up there. I have been cutting around a 1/2 inch. For the scalp, I'm gonna have to go lower. For my desired height of cut to start the season, I have to go lower than that. I've been contemplating where I want to start. To work with both the front yard and the backyard, I've settled on I'm going to start my height of cut this season at 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna go 1/2 of 3/8 of an inch. So we're gonna go, what is it, 3/16? Yeah, that's 1/2. Now I have some calipers, but they don't fit with this setup. So I have this trusty tool from iFixit. And we are going to set this bad boy. So we got 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. And we're gonna back our way down. There we go. Yeah, right there should do it. Or should I go lower and start the year at this? Not this year, I have a lot of sand to do to make concrete. But yeah, so we're gonna start with this. So as you remember from my height of cut bar build, we just loosen this guy up a tad and we're just gonna start cranking it down. Crank, 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 crank. Okay, let's take a little break. Let's make sure I didn't mess anything up. A little bit more to go. Got this guy tightened down, so bam, let's get busy. This is fantastic. This is real low. So we're gonna start on this end. I have no idea where it's set right now, so we'll see. I gotta raise it. Who would have thought? So I take back what I was gonna set this to. The bed knife on here is currently a high cut bed knife designed for fairways because I was using the high height of cut bars and I, for some stupid reason, thought that I was gonna be cutting like a 1/2 inch and then didn't realize that, hey, I can go lower than that. We're gonna have to raise the scalp a little bit. I'm still not too worried about it. So let me get it up to the scalping height. We'll see what that's at. That might affect where I'm starting the season. It may not though, because things can change. But let's readjust this to where I have it set right now. I want to show you the reason why. So we're gonna do a little close up because we're talking very, very little space due to the thickness of this bed knife. I hope you all can see that there. That is a very, very tight clearance. Very tight. Wow. Ultra tight. So we'll make the adjustments, get everything right, and go from there. I've reset the height of cut bar to what it was currently set at on this side of the reel. So we're going to take the trusty tool. We raised it 1/8 of an inch. I'm currently sitting at 5/16. So we're a 1/16 of an inch shy of my starting point that I wanted to do this year of 3/8 of an inch. I think that'll still work too because most everything's dormant with this set. So now I'm going to come over to this side, adjust the reel slightly so there's no, nothing in the way. And now I'm going to just turn the knob. I'm turning it, if you're looking down on it, I'm turning it clockwise, which is the wrong way. I need to be going counterclockwise. So I have that set there. We'll come back to this side just to make sure nothing got crazy. And it did just a little bit. Everything's set now at a 5/16 height of cut. Now I'm gonna lock these down. We're gonna put this bad boy on there and we can get to town. With that, I wanna thank everyone for watching. She's set up and ready to scalp. The scalping video will be coming very, very soon, where I show you how to properly scalp a Bermuda lawn. That's as simple as I can put it. Nothing's getting hired out with this job. Until that video drops, I'll see you again soon. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll see you very, very soon in some very short grass.